September hangs a poster in the office that reads, "I'm the boss, do not forget." He returns from lunch, he finds a slip on the desk that reads, "Your wife called, she wants her poster back home." Good evening and welcome to Talk with Rams Live on this Opportunity Tuesday. It's the 9th of June today. I think it's the 9th of June, something like that. Forgive me if I don't know dates, guys. This lockdown has locked me out. We stream live on Facebook, Instagram, and also available on YouTube as Talk with Rams. Please subscribe to the channel. And thank you for choosing the best 30 minutes of online content. Today is no different from any other day that we broadcast. Tonight, I speak about innovation and technology and women and entrepreneurship. But before we go to that main Opportunity Tuesday feature, as we normally do, we start with a business that deserves a bit of a plug, a bit of a plug-in and an advert that says these guys are doing well. Let's give them some 5 minutes of fame. So Invent is a company that specializes in ventilation and cooling solutions for industry and commerce. They have considerable years of experience in ventilation and cooling, of working environments in both commerce and industry, ranging from food processing, manufacturing plants, pump rooms, MCC rooms, whatever that means, you tell me just now, to retail outlets, centers of education, etc. So joining us to tell us a bit more about Invent is Lesweu Rampa, a director at Invent. Lesweu, good evening, mate, and thank you so much for joining me.
Evening, Rams, and it's Intervent. Our business is Intervent. Yes, sir.
Something like
In-event. I think it's the twang got involved.
Really right. But thank you very much, mate. So, Intervent, tell us more about it.
Well, what we do is that we design, manufacture, and install ventilation systems and refrigeration systems. That's our core business. And then we've got a division where we do structural steel. So we also design, fabricate, and install structural steel. And then just general engineering processes. That's our core business. Those three areas is where we focus.
In layman's terms, my brother, what is a ventilation system? Especially, I'm asking this question because now there's also Corona. We hear about ventilators. Sometimes they're called vibrators, but I'm sure it was a mistake. So what's a ventilation system?
Well, in our industry, it's not medical ventilation. So if I had to paint a picture of the work that we do, if somebody gets into a shopping center, you hear a lot of machinery, especially in basements or at the back of the shopping center. And then you walk into the shopping center and you experience cool air. And then you walk into a store, a fast food chain, you experience cool air in there. So that's the chain that we're working at. So we would then, depending on what environment it is, we would do essentially the pumping in of cool air and extracting hot air or warm air, or vice versa, depending on the environment. So basically, that's what we do. We provide air.
You provide air,
fresh air, and then remove dust particles or whatever other pathogens or anything else that's in the environment. So that's what we do. We just provide clean environments.
You know, that answer tells me there's a lot of dirt out there. It actually says to me, if you guys don't exist, I could be walking into a shopping mall that could actually kill me from dirt.
Yes, that's true. So you probably die from heat stroke first before you die from the dirt. Because essentially where we come in is even from the food you eat, where for those chemical processes to operate at optimal temperatures, that's where our systems come in, so that you don't have a lot of defects in your products because of the different chemical reactions happening in different temperatures, and you don't have essentially dirt in your food. So we essentially create optimal temperature and clean environments for the customers and whatever production facilities that they're looking to.
You guys are by no means small boys. I mean, if you do that kind of business, you should be playing in the big league.
Well, it also depends on what big league is, but we definitely not a buggy. We're not a business on a buggy. If that's what you're asking.
So who are your typical clients?
Well, the FMCG businesses that you deal with, so the guys that would create your washing powder, the food you eat, the beverages that you consume, alcoholic, non-alcoholic, your frozen foods, liquids. So those are generally our clients. I'm not sure if I'm privy to mention the names, but we deal with your blue chip multinationals. So that's our core businesses and multinational fast food chains. So some of the restaurants that you walk into out there in the market, that's where you'd find our services.
And how long have you been in business for?
So the business itself has been in business since 1937. And so I'm the fourth owner of the business. It's come through leaps and bounds and it's changed hands. And the previous owners have run it since 1982 and I've run it since 2007. 2017, since 2017.
And how's business? You know, one of the things that I have to assume as a black South African is that you acquired it from white South Africans. How's business been since it's gone darker?
Well, you see, I think that's also one of the issues that you realize that business generally, depending on who you're dealing with, as soon as they see a black name as a director or the bank account is now the signatory, a young South African black guy, everything changes, and that's just the reality that we've had to confront. A lot of the facilities, credit lines, insurances, suppliers, customers that the business had the comfort of operating with, as soon as we came in as black guys, we had to prove to them first that we know what we're doing. We're not just coming in and to pillage the business. So we've proven the business case, and we were possibly lucky that we found the business as it was undertaking a transformation from cash flow cycles and all that. So we were able to turn the business around. So that's given the customers even more confidence in us that ever since we've come in, we've actually implemented better systems, better management, and we're running the business a lot better than the previous directors were, to say. And even though the directors are still there, so now they work at Intervent. So because that's the IP. A lot of times we find that we take over businesses and then we kick the IP out. And the IP is the business, not the buildings and the machinery. So the gentlemen have been good enough that we were also able to structure a deal that they have to stay on for a few years while we bring in our own expertise, young guys to learn off them so that we can take the business to the next heights.
Excellent. So how do we get hold of you when we start needing your kind of services?
You can go into our into our website, www.intervent.co.za. Our office line is 010-593-0544. And we are based at number 9 Union Street in Alberton North. So that's just behind Rand Airport. You won't miss us if you come in there. You can walk in, we'll take you through our facility. We've got a factory, very helpful staff. We've got a few engineers on the floor that can take you through the concepts that you're looking for. Then you can find us on Instagram at Intervent. And pretty much that's who we are, So you won't need to follow an individual to get in touch with us. The business is out there, and you can walk in and realize what it means to be in a so-called industrialist area.
Excellent. Lesweu Rampa, thank you very much, my brother. Excellent on your business. Wish you all the best. I wish you growth. I know there are people who watch this platform, people who have a say on the kind of business that you do, and I know that they will make contact with you soon. Have a great evening.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And as we always say, our tagline is bringing a breath of fresh air into industry, and that's who we are.
I like that. And I'm never going to get it wrong again. Intervent. Have a good evening, my brother.
Intervent. Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Great. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we speak the South African Innovation Summit and specifically FEM-IN-Tech.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Don't go. Stay right there.
Welcome back, Audrey.
Hello.
All right, get yourself ready. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Going live in 5, 4, 3, 2.
And thank you for you guys, especially on Instagram, because we did not stop the production. So you were looking at my ugly face throughout the program, while the guys on Facebook were enjoying a bit of music and a promo going on there. So for this week's opportunity, the South African Innovation Summit, in collaboration with the Small Enterprise Development Agency, SEDA, bring you FEM-IN-Tech, a female-focused entrepreneurship development program for South African women. It is aimed at empowering South African women with tech and tech-enabled startups with entrepreneurial and leadership skills to launch and grow their businesses. Dr. Audrey Verhaeghe is CEO of South African Innovation Summit, and she joins me tonight to tell us more about FEM-IN-Tech. Audrey, good evening to you and wonderful to see you.
Good evening, Rams. I'm so honored to be here. I'm looking forward to our discussion.
I have watched the SA Innovation Summit from a distance for a long time, and now I'm happy to say I have you in the midst. It's wonderful to have you. So let's start with the Innovation Summit. Who are you and what is your business?
Right, the summit started 13 years ago. And in the 13 years, the entrepreneurial landscape changed radically in South Africa. We started the debate about innovation and that entrepreneurship should be seen as a very serious business, and that entrepreneurs are not always just small and people who can't find work that becomes entrepreneurs, that it's actually really a career. It takes a lot of sophistication if you want to grow jobs and inspire lots of people to follow you and become Pan-African and take your message from Africa to the world. It's not an easy journey. And that was our discussion and our theme for 13 years. We started with 78 people in the room, and last year we were 3,500. Wow. We attract 33 countries to participate, total organic growth. Started in a kitchen and a garage, grew Pan-African, and this year coronavirus gave us our last and final frontier, and that is to go completely digital. So from a big gathering, I think we on the last list of things in corona lockdown that will be allowed to continue. So when you gather 3,500 people, we are on the last list. So we have to go virtual.
But you were digital anyway. With 3,500 people, a lot of it would have been digital, wasn't it, Audrey?
It's a funny business, Rams. You know, I agree with you. We had a match and invest platform that was digital. It opened 3 weeks before the summit. Our ticketing process is digital. Our advertising, our marketing, our SABC, everything we broadcast, it's all digital. And then Corona says to you, lockdown, you will not have a physical event. that you build up digitally and you just display for 2 days physically. Everything happens digitally, and then for 2 days everybody gathers for, physically, and it knocks you. It knocks you. So many businesses have both of those.
Well, look, I think all things equal, Audrey, the summit 2021 will go back to what it normally was, but you will still have a much chunk of it being digital, because that's where we are now. As a digital platform, this is where I am, this is how I work, and this makes sense. Although I do miss a few hugs here and there and a few smiles here and there, but I'm used to the digital platform. So let's talk about FEM-IN-Tech. What is that in simple language?
So CEDA and the summit has been working together last year in a pitch perfect collaboration to teach all entrepreneurs to pitch well. But this year, CEDA participated with CIFA to do that pitches across the country where people pitch for funding. Yes. And they wanted something that was a little bit more niche, because Pitch for Funding was addressing a lot of the SME needs. You pitch for funding to grow your business, any kind of business. Yes. So we brainstormed, and CEDA then confirmed that we will go ahead this year with a FEM-IN-Tech, meaning that we will focus on female entrepreneurs that are tech-based. Now, tech-based should not scare you at all. Like Rams, like the both of us have talked, if you're on social media, you're on tech. Yes. So don't get worried about the word tech. It's not that you had to invent the next cure for cancer or anything like that. We want you. There's no business that's serious and scalable across frontiers that doesn't have a component of tech. So if you're that entrepreneur, you're welcome. There's a bit of a focus on females. It always worries me when I choose a gender or I choose a focus. But focus also helps, because you in a box and you innovate in that box. So this year the focus is female entrepreneurs. Only 30% of all entrepreneurs are female in the first place. In the second place, less of them get funding and investment. So we're going to really focus on funding and investment. So are you investment ready? Can you pitch for an investor? I think there's a big gap. In the Innovation Summit, we often hear there's great pipeline, but they're not investment ready. The pipeline tells us where are the investors. So it's really, there's a disconnect between investor expectations and investee needs. And bridging that is work from both sides. Investors must meet the entrepreneurs, but the entrepreneurs also need to meet the investors. And I think we're going to focus on that space for female entrepreneurs this year.
We are certainly miles behind Silicon Valley, but we will catch up. But what I have found in the tech space, Audrey, is that from a funding point of view, that even the investors, the funders, are a bit reluctant because they have not really realized the value of tech, and they're not too sure whether this space is investor friendly and it can bring results and returns that they're looking for. In return, on the other side, me as the entrepreneur, I also battle to pitch to them to show them the value of how tech could advance and scale my business. So does that not cause the problem more, that we have not been able to communicate tech in a language that everybody understands?
Well, investors actually, they like tech. From a startup perspective, investors like tech because they do know that if you're not tech enabled, or tech inclusive, you cannot scale your business.
Yes.
I mean, there's only so many people that Audrey can see in a day. But if I'm on a platform, I can see 2,000 people on a day.
Yes.
And every time that you want to accept investment money, the investor is looking for scale. So I give you R1. How will you make this R1 R10 in what amount of time? And that's not possible person to person. It's only possible through technology. So I think investors understand technology. They are looking for convertibility. They are looking for growth. They are looking for safety. So they look at you and me, and I think, woman, African male, can I trust you? What's your experience? So it's up to us to de-risk that, you know, to say, listen, I know exactly what my market wants. It will cost me so much to convert another follower. And if you give me R10, I can convert 100 more followers, and that will make your R10 worth R100, and therefore you get a 10x return on your investment. And that's the language they need. Simplicity, they need courage, they need conviction, they need to know that when they talk to you, they are in safe hands.
So in FEM-IN-Tech, in this program now, typically what are we looking for? What kind of startups? I mean, if you're going to make it easy for me to understand, give me an example of, you know, what kind of an entrepreneur or a startup you're looking for.
So let me think about an example of a successful startup in South Africa. One of the rising stars, as you know, is SweepSouth. Do you know the company SweepSouth?
Yeah.
Okay. So Aisha Pandor. So what she did is she created an online marketplace for domestic cleaners, right? She and her husband. They got some nice early stage funding, and they scaled that because people can book online, and they, I think before Corona, they were up to 55,000 bookings per month. And they started opening in Kenya and another African country. I'm not sure if it's Ghana or Nigeria, but I know Kenya was one. So here's a South African entrepreneur. It's domestic cleaning services. It's something the entire country understands very well from both sides. The cleaning ladies became sweep stars. And so it was like giving work, but also solving a problem for people. It's like an Uber service. People can rate the service, and she was growing incredibly. Then Corona struck, you know, nobody is allowed anybody in your house. So that business, but that's a tech-enabled business. It's still a physical service, so it's a human service, but you scale through tech. And that's the typical, that's like the store business that you're looking for.
Now,
is this scalable? Is it possible?
You've made it easy for someone like me. If I can understand it, trust me, anybody else can understand it. So what is the criteria then of entry? I know that we're getting closer to the closing date. What is the criteria of entry and the closing date?
Yeah, the closing date is 9 July.
Okay.
So please go tonight, because even as we unfold, this is some mission that we've put in, is that everybody who touches the summit, we want to create value for you. So what we're doing at the moment is we're looking at the entries as they come in, and we're choosing at least 10 entries that will go on a digital tour to investors across the world. So we're taking you on a digital tour, unfortunately not physical, but we will present the coolest businesses to investors from Silicon Valley and from Europe, because often that money, you know, a dollar takes you much further in our economy. And that's a good message, because we can tell the investors you get longer runway with your money.
Yeah.
don't have to prove your business in 3 months. You, with the same money, you've got 6 months to make more money, and time is everything. So it's a good value proposition. We're looking for female-led. So you don't have to be a pure female business, as long as there's an element of leadership from a woman founder or a woman shareholder or a woman in top management. So we will accept most of these to show true leadership. Not the husband that brings his suppressed wife and he's the running of the business. No, we don't want that. We want thinking, participating female leadership in the business. So that will be the one criteria. Then we are very inclusive in our criteria. We say you don't have to be commercially active. You can still be in the pre-commercial phase. You know, when you've got a really cool idea and it takes time to build that idea. But then I must be honest with your audience. I think those people must participate, but you mustn't expect to be in the top 20, because investors look for traction. So if you can show traction, that you've got customers, that you've got people on your platform, that you've got people who are buying your product, even in a small way, then you have already de-risked a lot of that investment. So I want to say to everybody, participate. So even if you only have a concept, go and participate, because even filling in the questionnaire, we ask you, what is your competitive advantage? How big is your market? These are things that an entrepreneur needs to answer. And even if you can't answer it yet, by knowing the question, you are already being helped. So filling in the questionnaire, you are learning. So just participate. You don't always have to win. We always think it's all about winning. It's often about participation. It's often about inspiration. It's often about the learning process. Next year you will win.
And where do they go to enter?
Okay, so if you go to the Innovation Summit, well, you can follow us, first of all, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. We're on all of these platforms at Summit, Summit, with the SA Innovation Summit. All our Twitter handles are at Innovation Summit. You will find us if you look for us, innovationsummit.co.za. The website is innovationsummit.co.za. If you look down the tab, it doesn't say competitions, but it says entrepreneur. You are the entrepreneur. Go entrepreneur, startups. You will find a number of competitions, and this competition is FEM-IN-Tech.
Audrey Verhaeghe, I'd like to talk to you forever, but I'm running out of time. But I'm going to talk to you soon about another project that you're doing that we spoke about earlier. So I'm going to be inviting you back soon to talk about more. But please, guys, do apply soon and learn. Thank you very much, Audrey, and have a great evening.
Looking forward to being back and talking about entrepreneurs and to entrepreneurs.
Of course, this is going to be your home. Trust me, I can tell you that much. Tomorrow, we've got another amazing opportunity for you tomorrow. So you've got a double takeoff opportunity Tuesday. It's going to happen on Wednesday again. Look forward to it, 7:30 p.m. on all our platforms. Thank you very much for everybody for joining us. From me, Rams Mabote, good night and God bless.
Good night. God bless.